What's up, warriordadnation? What to do when you don't have a spotting partner and your shoulder's irritating you on chest day. That's today's issue. That's today's subject. It's in real time. I was going to do a Facebook Live, but it's not working. So I'm going to do this quick video and post it on YouTube. WarriorDadNation, what's up? This is CJ Haynes coming at you live right now, but by the time you see this, it won't be live. So I started with bench. And I have an old shoulder injury, as many of you know. I've accomplished great things and done amazing workarounds and gone from being 30% body fat down to 10% body fat and running up mountains and doing all kinds of amazing stuff. That's a fast forward of my background. I was sick and tired of all the ridiculous training programs out there. I spent thousands of dollars on trainers and different workout programs that didn't do crap for me and were always short-sighted and didn't deal with injury recovery, injury prevention. I have a shoulder injury, hip injury, knee injury, left calf and hamstring and Achilles tendon issues. And so I went back to my old passion of exercise science, sports medicine that I had lost sight of for years, and dug in deep and cracked the code. Came up with my own fitness system that's more thorough and complete, and it deals with guys like me that are almost 50. Dads over 40 are my specialty. So you can be, and teaching you how to be strong and fit into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. How to overcome injuries, overcome obstacles, health issues. I have diabetes and hypoglycemia and a weird endocrine system disorder. So I overcome a lot of obstacles to build the body that I have and to literally change my life, become the hero of my own story and the hero to my kids. That being said, tonight my shoulder was acting up a little bit, especially when I went to, it was pretty okay, and then I went to, from bench press over to dumbbell bench. Which was okay. It was better on the flat until I started getting into the heavier weights. The problem is without a spotting partner on things like dumbbells and heavy dumbbell bench presses and heavy dumbbell incline presses, is getting them up in position. Yes, you can use the technique of using your legs to spring them up in position, but getting them up into position is where you're putting your shoulder in a vulnerable spot. And when I was lifting up this 75-pounders to put them in position, once they're in position, I can do plenty of reps with no problem. It's the getting into position part. It just went, there was just a little bit of a twinge, and I was like, you know what, let me back down 10 pounds, try one more set. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and steer away from that, and I went over to a chest machine instead. I've already got a great pump going. I've done a great warm-up, and but I'm going to share with you right now what I've done. I'm filming by myself, so bear with me. I'm going to literally show you this thing and then show you what I'm doing, how I'm supersetting, the two other things I'm supersetting with that already, boom, started to pull that shoulder into a better position. So I switched to a chest machine. Personally, for my particular shoulder, and it may be different for you, so you can try a different chest machine. The ones that hinge on the bottom and hinge out are in a pattern that irritates my shoulder a little bit. The ones that hinge from the top and hinge out like this feel better for my particular shoulder because the arcing motion drives upwards, which doesn't bother my shoulder. When it drives outwards and down in an arcing pattern, because if you follow this, it's kind of out and down, and when it hinges from the top, it's out and up. For me, the out and up feels better on my particular injury. And you may want to try both and see which feels best for you. And then play with your seat height. So tip number one, switch to a machine if it starts irritating you. If you're doing bench or dumbbells and it starts to irritate you on chest day, switch to a machine. If you can try a machine that arcs upward, then I think more often than that is a better solution. If all you have is the one that shifts down, then try that. And on both of those, try different seat heights, and you'll find a seat height that where it doesn't put it in a bad position. And start with a much lighter weight as well. And let me go ahead and bang out a set really quick, and then I'm going to show you what to do right after this. So what you do, especially if your shoulder starts irritating you, you superset that with some shoulder strengthening exercises in between. So here's what we do. So we go right, get a little better camera position. Focus. Bing! I love it. So, and I'm not going super wide, I'm not going super narrow. I found when it's a little irritated, I've just found for me a position that feels pretty good. And I'll do a couple of pumping sets, and then I'll do a couple where I hold it on the out and go slow on the negative. The negative is what's going to tear the muscle down. Tearing it down is going to make it grow more. So always just pumping it out is not going to stimulate that growth, especially if you're experiencing any kind of plateau. Going slow on that negative is going to break it down even more. And one of the things I like about this machine is that you can change the handle settings. Because if you can, you don't want to get a machine where the handles are really far back behind you, because now you're putting your shoulder in a bad position again. These ones are adjustable, so they've adjusted out to where they're a little bit more in front of me, so I don't have to put myself, but even then, I stand up a little bit, put a little tension on it, and then slide down into it like that. So I don't go from here to push it through that vulnerable section. Now, before the video goes on too long, I don't want to do too long of a video for you guys. Let's get to the point. Then there's two things you can superset with, or you can do all three. Going from high, starting from a high point. Literally, this is only set on 20 pounds. Let me get in an angle where you're going to be able to see me. What's up, Warrior Dad Nation? Now I'll superset that with these. Face pulls, but wide. 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 And not bringing my hands low like this. Bring my hands up high. Where the rotator cuff has to basically pull back. It helps open up and pull back that rotator cuff and strengthen it in the back part of the structure. Especially if the pain is more in the front. And you want to strengthen the back part of it. And it helps open up and pull that those shoulder capsules back, and opens them up and strengthens them up and kind of pulls things back into place. Also, you can superset, especially if there's one nearby, with some sort of a lat pull down. Just don't go heavy. Focus, especially if it's your chest day, keep it light, but different kinds, doing one or two lightweight pulling movements help pull the shoulder blades down and open up that shoulder girdle. And I'm not jerking, I'm just doing it nice and controlled. And I'm not going behind my neck. I'm staying out in front of where I'm pulling it more straight down, and not too far back where I'm sort of pulling it down this way either. More of a straight down, so it opens up that shoulder girdle. And that is today's lesson on what to do if you start experiencing some shoulder pain in the middle of your chest workout. Switch it up to a machine, lighten it up, experiment with your seat position to get that right height. I ended up going a little bit lower on the seat position, and I found that that's well. On this machine, I might do a few sets like that, and then I might try a high seat position so that it gets the lower chest, so I can work the clavicular section of the chest, and then the sternal section of the chest that ties into the sternum and across down below. And then I'm going to go on about the rest of my chest workout. And I might even go to a hammer strength machine, because those arc upwards. The ones where you put the plates on the side and you push out like this. Those are another good one. You just have to be careful with those, because a lot of times they kind of start really far back, and that can so you gotta kind of stand up and put some tension on it and kind of push out, kind of like this one. You want to push out as you sit down into it. You don't want to sit down first and then push out and go through that little vulnerable range in the beginning. So So you want to stand up and then sit down into it. Let me back up a little bit. So you want to start higher up, get into that hammer strength machine, and then sit down into it and push it out as you're sitting down. So you start with them in a nice, safe position. And then don't go back ridiculously far, because that's putting that vulnerable again. Focus on the squeeze at the top and the negative, and then don't come too far back. If it's already sore, don't come too far back. Keep it out here. Focus on the squeeze at the top and slow on the negative. Squeeze at the top, slow on the negative. All right? That is today's Warrior Dad injury prevention and injury recovery tip of the day. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'll talk with you soon. TJ from Warrior Dad signing off. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit like if this is helpful for you. Check us out on Facebook at Warrior Dad Nation on Facebook. Talk with you guys soon. Cheers.